recognized the gentleman from New Mexico, Mr. Vasquez, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary, for being here today. And I'm up here next to the chairman.
Yes, okay, I see you. Bad eyes.
Secretary, I'm glad that you've come before our committee today. I represent one of the largest and most rural districts in the country, a district that elected both me and President Trump. Farmers, ranchers, food banks, and wildfire crews in my district rely on a properly staffed and functioning USDA, not just for support, but for survival. But right now, many of them feel that the USDA is failing them. As an example, in Silver City, New Mexico, the Frontier Food Hub, which is the only food pantry for hundreds of miles, had its community food project grant abruptly frozen halfway through its 4-year terms. Frontier Food Hub isn't just feeding families. It's an organization that's supporting small-scale rural producers in the region. Now, they spent those funds in good faith, built partnerships, and hired local workers. But when USDA turned off their contract with no warning and no explanation and no opportunity to appeal or correct course, it put their entire operation and the food security of the region in jeopardy. Secretary Rollins, as you can see, this is a critical program in a place like Silver City, New Mexico. Would you commit to upholding funding for rural communities in places like Silver City that provide these services?
Are you talking about the local food, the LFPA, or the local food for schools, the local food purchases? There's so many. I've got a couple different thoughts, but depending on which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the Community Food Project.
The Community Food Project.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's okay. I understand. So our commitment and continues to be that we ensure that we're using taxpayer dollars, that the producers around those areas understanding some of the food insecurity continues to be priority. What I would really appreciate, and I've actually been talking to Senator Heinrich from New Mexico about a couple of other key issues, is that you let us know specifics in what that looks like and how it has compromised potentially the goals of that community in New Mexico.
Thank you, Secretary. I appreciate that. We will follow up. Now, I also represent the Gila and the Lincoln National Forest, and we're heading into peak wildfire season.
Yes.
New Mexico experienced 2 of its largest wildfires in just 2 years ago. Yet dozens of our seasoned Forest Service firefighters and trail crews have been fired and sidelined. In fact, I met with a group of 7 members of a trail crew who actually are the ones who maintain the trails and cut fire lines in the wilderness areas of the forest, who are just 1 week away from being fired. These are the very people that we rely on to protect our communities, to clear our trails, and to manage our forests. And without them, this wildfire season could be more dangerous, deadly, and disastrous than the one we recently saw. We're now in fire season. Has the USDA done any analysis on how these cuts impact public safety in fire-prone rural communities?
We have. We're 96% operational. We're way ahead, not way ahead, we are ahead of where the Biden administration was a year ago in preparation for fire season. We have more firefighters on the ground and ready to go. I actually have been in conversations about this also with your senator from New Mexico, specifically talking about the New Mexico challenges. So we are aware and leaned in, but again, please send any information to me that you see that's different from what I am understanding for New Mexico.
Thank you, Secretary. I appreciate that. And where a lot of the work happens, again, is with the trail crews who have a function within the larger preventative control of these forest fires. And so we definitely need firefighters to respond to a fire incident, but we also need the folks who are out there cutting those trails that allow those firefighters in. So I'd suggest that we continue to look at those positions as very valuable to the entire firefighting ecosystem.
I agree. And we have invested a lot of money in the clearing. So let me get my arms around exactly what that looks like for New Mexico, and we'll follow up.
Thank you so much, Secretary. Now, every member of this committee has shared similar stories involving food pantries left in the dark, trail crews cast aside, producers that the USDA has promised to support. I introduced the Honor Farmers Contracts Act, which is a bill essentially that would allow USDA to fully pay those contracts that have already been executed, some dealing back all the way to last year, because constituents are holding up their end of the deal, but they feel USDA isn't. So I'd love for you to take a look at that bill and see if it's something that you would support. Now, I listen to the people on the ground in my district, and so I created an agriculture advisory group. Now, in my district, we go pecans, chili, cotton, beef, and so many other specialty crops as well. And those local leaders that make up my Ag Advisory Committee, which the chairman here has been gracious enough to talk to, would love the opportunity to talk with you and even more so to see you in the district. And in order to understand these impacts in my local community, would you be willing to visit the 2nd District of New Mexico in the near future?
I would.
Thank you so much, Secretary, and thank you, Chairman. I yield
Yeah,
back.
thank you, sir.
Gentleman yields back.